Hey everyone, it's Kathy with Plan Happy with Me, and if this is your first visit here, welcome. Today I have my final 2023 planner flip through, and I'm very excited to send this one with you because this is my travel planner. You can see she's a bit chunky, and I know that different brand rings come a little bigger than the extended rings from Happy Planner. I think I'm going to have to find some and invest because it doesn't really fit. I am very blessed in 2023 to do all of that I got to do. I thought 2024 was going to bring some more. I'm not sure yet. I have 2 trips planned. We'll see what happens. I made this front cover and then laminated. It's just scrapbook paper. I felt like it really said travel without saying travel. I also then made this cover. This is just scrapbook paper, and I just wrote with the Mambi Sticks letters, follow me in 23. This page is just simple and plain. Sometimes you need that break in a book like this, and that's what I did here. So my first trip in 23 was very unplanned. If you don't already know, I'm a huge Disney fanatic. We have had, before COVID, we have had annual passes to Disneyland for 20 years. And I have spent from 1999 to 2023 every New Year's except for at Disneyland. So we didn't think we were going to get in, and my daughter pulled a rabbit out of her hat, and we literally were able to go to Disneyland for New Year's from 2022 to 2023. And this whole planner is, this first tab is about the trip that she was able to create for us. It poured. Unfortunately, it poured. And we made the best of a rough day, but we had the most fantastic time. And in my travel planner, I do try to do an hourly so I can keep track of what I did. This is always where I journal. And then I add the photos. This is my sweet, sweet daughter that was able to make a dream come true. I never thought we would make it, and we got there. Just some more things, and my puppy's woofing, so if I have to, I'll put you on hold. Here again, just more timing. These are the things we actually did in the order that we did them. Yeah, I'm kind of one of those kind of nerds. And then just more journaling about the trip and how wonderful to be able to get in and go. Literally, we made the reservation, bought the tickets on the 30th, and we left the morning of the 31st. So, last minute choice. So my next trip is kind of last minute, but it planned before this trip. My next trip, we got to go, my very good friend that lives here by me, we did a trip to Hawaii. We went to Honolulu, her first time, my third. And this is the plane that got us there. This is my travel arrangements, my make sure not to forget. This is kind of our trip as a whole, as an overall. And then the things we look forward to doing. Now, in the Disney, most of these stickers were Happy Planner stickers, except for this first portion here, and what you're going to see coming. This is from Planners Anonymous. Planners Anonymous has some wonderful destination type stickers. Here again, you can see this is just my hourly for the day, our journal for the day. And I actually have it all set up before I go. This is all decoed out and done. The things I know we're going to do is marked. When I come home, I start making my photo pages. And all of this paper here is from Planners Anonymous. This is our room. This is from our hotel room, and this was from the beach looking at our hotel. And then I have a thing about the room number, so I always keep track and take a picture of the room number. This is some of the things that we did. I'm also really big about where I stand. If you're in the digital scrapbooking world, this is kind of a thing. So I always take a picture, or I try to always take a picture of where I stand. This trip could not have worked out time-wise more perfect. We got to see the sunset on the beach the very first night we were there. This just worked out, was a fabulous, fabulous trip. Again, deco before, kind of like an hourly tracker, and then my journal for the day. And yeah, the next question I'm probably going to get is, do you take this with you? Yeah, I do. Because it's really important to me to do this hourly thing and tell my story. If I don't take it with me, it's really hard for me to go back and remember exactly how I felt on that day. I had to do that in one of my trips. And I don't like all the journaling in it because it was a back journal, a back thought. But it was only way I could do it. So then the other thing I really enjoy doing is making all these little photo pocket things. This is Planners Anonymous. This is called Tropicana. I don't know if it's still available on their website, but it's double-sided paper, so it really lends to photo journaling. This is a die cut in the kit that I used as just like a page turner, but on the back side it works out really good to add the photo space that I was a little bit short. I just love these trees. I think they're phenomenal. To top off the end of our trip, we did go to the Honolulu Zoo. It was a beautiful way to end the 4 days we were there. Another thing I like that Planners Anonymous does is these cute little planners, sticker planners. And I always put something in there that reminds me of the trip. I ran out of journaling on this one day, so I try to take a few extra pages with me so that if that happens, I can journal, and I just stick it at the back. And I usually put like a page number on it and at the bottom of this one, I'll tell you what the page number to go to. And then I don't like the raw page here with nothing on it, so I usually cover it with some kind of scrapbook paper that is thematic. Now my next trip is exactly a bucket list, check it off, dream come true trip. My travel buddy is my cousin, and we just recently decided I didn't realize how much she would go traveling with me. So I said, do you want to go to Iceland? She said, sure, why not? Sounds fun. So I was like, yes. So we went to Iceland to see the Northern Lights. Not this vellum paper, but this card is Planners Anonymous. And then a lot of what you're going to see in here for stickers is Happy Planner. I forget the name of it, but it worked really well with the Planners Anonymous. This is all Planners Anonymous. This is my hourly. This is talking about how we got together. This is the ship that carried us from Seattle to KEF, which is Reykjavik, Iceland, nonstop. Okay, and we got to see the sunrise as we rode the bus from the airport to the hotel. This was kind of like, yeah, I really did it. Yeah, I'm really here. This is in the airport, in Reykjavik. These are memories for me that I can look back and say, you did that. You did that. We don't really waste any time. We get to the hotel, we went and checked in, and then we went for a walk. Her and I really enjoy walking, and there is my where I stand picture in Iceland. This is called Rainbow Road. You don't drive on this. It's just a place you can walk. It is that vibrant. It is beautiful. This is artwork literally in the middle of the street as we walk from our hotel down to central Reykjavik. This is a big pond that we ended up at this pond several times. On this end, the water's not frozen. All the foul are on this end. The water actually is running down here from a pipe. But as you walk farther down, this is what we're standing on, is this pond. And yeah, it was kind of interesting that a good portion of it was not frozen, but as you walk farther down, it was frozen. And then this, not my favorite page, but this was the whole reason we went to Iceland. There's a whole big story on this. Look up the Northern Lights. You'll see it was magical. It was beautiful. It was not what I expected. And then part of the package we purchased included a Golden Circle tour. I had no idea what that was. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? I did not realize it was an 8-hour tour that took you to 3 different places, really 4, but we didn't stay for the 4th one, of the highlights of Iceland, at least on the side where Reykjavik is. So we did the first stop, and he had so many interesting facts that I was not able to retain them all. I decided, live in the moment, remember that there was more to remember, and just enjoy it. But we stopped one place, and we were actually, it had this continental divide. On one side of the pathway, you were in North America, and the other side of the pathway was Europe. This is Europe over here, and this was North America. And then we went to the glaciers. This was stop number 2. And this was a glacier that here you could see. The glaciers were pretty phenomenal, but the icing on the top was this last and third stop. You can see here it's frozen, freezing cold. The river is still running, but just look how beautiful it is. And you can tell how cold it is here. On the bus, everything over there is in Celsius. And on the bus, we were watching and it said 2, 1, 0, -1, -2. And I'm looking at my cousin and saying, how cold is that? But we didn't care. It was beautiful. It was freezing cold. It was worth every penny of it, every minute of it. Okay, and then on land, back into our hotel, we went to see what they called as the lava show. Now, the lava show was good, just not what I expected. It took us 2 hours to walk there and 20 minutes to walk home. So does that tell you anything? But Iceland is the land of fire and ice. And I just, even though it was not what we expected, it really was a great show. This is some of the strings of the cold lava. They let us take it home, and I put it in a little tiny box, and I got it home pretty much in good shape. And then we left Iceland, and as we pulled into the airport, it had snowed there. And so I went and picked some up, and oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how light it was. It was like air. This is the Reykjavik airport. You can see the snow there. And then just a little quote here. And then this is the final. Now this is a page 2 here to keep up with the journaling. Then our next trip, this was in March. This was in April. We took the train from Central California to the Grand Canyon. Would I do that again? Probably not. The trip from Los Angeles to the Grand Canyon was not bad. Getting from Central California to LA, would never take that on a train ever again. Anyways, that's my opinion. I bought this sticker there, not thrilled with how this page turned out, but it is what it is, and sometimes you're limited on what you can do. Most of these stickers are from Happy Planner. I believe it is something abstracts. Love it. A lot of these stickers are 3D sticker that I took apart to get it to go farther, and just so I had more. Finding stickers for the Grand Canyon was much harder than I thought it would be. Okay, so here's the abstract. This is a 3D sticker I took apart. Labeling or hourly and journal. And then the story begins. And we actually had to take the train to LA, spend the night in LA because we missed the train to the Grand Canyon, which this was kind of fun because I had actually stayed in this hotel probably 20 years before. Just more journaling, more, you can see here the cactus here was the theme. And we had some nice journaling, some photos. This is what I called the never-ending day. It was almost like they had you captive and they tried to keep you busy, but this was, everything just kept going. We're like, can we get to our room? Can we get to our room? We just want to chill. And you can see here that it was the never-ending day. This was some stickers I printed off of Etsy. I got off Etsy. These are Planners Anonymous, but this paper is probably, I think, from Hobby Lobby. And this is just me telling our story again. We were on our first hike in the Grand Canyon. On one side of the road was dry, the other side was covered in snow. And then we had the fortunate to run into this wonderful family who invited us to take this tour with them, and really was the icing on the cake. They didn't want any money. They had to reserve the Jeep for 8, and there was only 6 of them. So when they ran into us, we said, we'd love for you to join us. Great family there. Just more memories of the Grand Canyon. More memories. This was our second hike. We actually walked the rim. We said we didn't go down. We just kind of walked the rim. And that was fun. And then more journaling, just basic stuff. And then a final picture. You know, it's really hard to get a good picture of the Grand Canyon because it's so big. Oh, my puppy is whining in the background because he thinks it's dinner time. Please ignore him. A page 2 that we needed to have a little more journaling on. And here again, this is just to finish off that trip. Now, the highlight of my journey was my trip to Alaska. And I actually got to do this with my husband. And we did a 10-day cruise from San Francisco. Well, actually a round trip on Princess. And I never dreamed how much fun we would have on this trip. All of these papers are, and most of the stickers are from Planners Anonymous. This particular kit is called Into the Wild. This stickers from Happy Planner are called Funky Abstracts. And then this is our plan. Now this is the trip where I didn't take as much with me, so I don't have as many detailed notes, and I really regret that. But I cannot go back. Well, I can, but that's for another story. So you can see here that I started to do the hourly here and the journaling. This is Into the Wild sticker kits and papers. This is the Into the Wild paper, and this actually is just the beginning of our trip. We had he said it was a traditional captain starts the champagne send off and away we go. This is kind of the lobby here. The picture didn't print very well. I told you I had a thing about our room number, and that's us in front of our ship just before we literally board. A very nice young woman said, would you like me to take your picture, as we started to walk up the ramp. And we took her picture and she took ours. And then one of the shows on the ship was an Elvis impersonator. Really, really good. He looked like Elvis, moved like Elvis, sang like Elvis. Very nice entertainment. More hourly land ho. It does take from San Francisco to our first stop, which was Sitka. It was almost 72 hours, 2 days at sea and a half a day. So it's quite a long time. Didn't bother me at all. I don't mind it at all. But when we finally saw land, it did finally feel like land ho. So this is the ship. I like to take pictures of this ship That's for another story, reason why. A previous cruise, I didn't have them and now can't get them. Well, welcome back. I had to take a little break. And we left off in our first stop in Alaska, which was Sitka. I just loved how this all came together. I love these little, I don't know what you want to call them, inserts in the photos. They're all different shapes and sizes, and they just really helped to tell my story. I think it turned out really super cute. All of the paper and the stickers are from Planners Anonymous, including this little clip. Now this paper is actually an acetate, and I didn't know what to put here, so I just kind of left it. I may change that in the future, but because it's an acetate, I use the clip to hold it together. Now the diagonal paper is not Planners Anonymous. This is another, instead of standing, I was sitting in a canoe. So I just put where I sit. And this was our canoe ride. We were in a canoe for about 2 hours out on this lake. The lake and the canoe and the environment was just so calming, so restful, so, I don't know, I can't put a word to it. Fantastic event that we did that day. Then we have some more storytelling and some more photo telling. Let's see. Goodbye, Haines, Alaska. That's where we canoed. Hello, Juneau. This is the gold mine we visited there. Quite an interesting story. I wish I could remember more of the details, but it was just phenomenal. And then we went back to the ship, had lunch. We had to be at the gold mine really early, so we took a little nap, really little, because we went whale watching. And then sadly, all my whale watching pictures are videos, because it's really hard to know when that whale is going to come up. So I don't have any stills of the whale watching. And then followed by a salmon bake. That was our day in Juneau. Magnificent day. Wonderful day. Storytelling here. And then our next stop really wasn't a stop. We took on some Glacier Bay rangers who were telling us through the whole ship, through the monitor system, about all the things we were seeing and things we were doing. I'm going to open this over here because this actually opens. And then these were more Glacier Bay pictures that we did. And then this, I just thought this was a fantastic photo. This is Alaska and our ship at 10 o'clock at night. We were just finished dinner. We were finished our trivia game. We were headed kind of back to the room. And I just wanted to go outside and feel the fresh air. And I was hit with this beautiful scene of the ship out on the water. And again, a wonderful, wonderful trip. Memories that will last forever. Some shipboard fun here, an ice sculpture. And then we turn this last page here, and we have our final destination, which was Prince Rupert in Canada, where the eagles are everywhere. They're just everywhere. More shipboard fun. We had a lot of good times on the ship when we were at sea. And this gentleman here, his name is Rafael from Venezuela. And he just made the trip. He was the icing on the cake. Icing on the cake was Rafael from Venezuela. And then more storytelling and hourly. And just like that, we were home. And the 10 days seemed to last forever, but not quite. And then this one, I just wrote Alaska, thank you. Remember I told you they have that little sticker that's like a planner. And that was the end of that trip. Now my next trip was kind of out of the norm. My cousin said, Kathy, my friend and I want to go to the Mall of America, which is in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So we planned a trip. This was our girls' trip, and this is from Planners Anonymous, the stickers and the paper. And here is my trip at a glance. This is getting ready, and then this was the actual trip and the ride home. And then my hourly and my storytelling, and here's my photos. Welcome to Minnesota. This was we actually got into Minnesota really early. We rented a car, drove to Duluth, stayed an hour in Duluth, and drove back to the airport, dropped off the rental car, and then got a ride to our hotel. We went to the Mall of America the next day. We opened the mall, and we were in that mall until it closed 12 hours later. We had dinner at the Margaritaville. It was okay, not great. I don't think I would eat there again if I had a choice. And this was just more photo ops inside the mall. Then inside here, this was our last day we decided to go to St. Paul. We took the train to St. Paul. This church, from the distance, you don't realize how big it is until you get right on top of it. It is huge. And then we walked around St. Paul looking for this Summit Road. And these houses here are from like the turn of the century, the 1910s, 1920s. They're mammoth. They're 25,000 square feet. Okay. And we met someone who was really nice. I believe it was in this one here. And she explained to us that most of them had been turned into condos. So they're really not these mammoth houses anymore. Some are still quite large with single families in them, but she said most all of the houses on Summit Road had been converted. And this was probably my favorite part of our trip. By the time we found Summit Road, the day was almost over and we had to get back to get to the airport. So I don't know that I'll ever go back to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then to Summit Road, but you never know what the future holds for us. And then my little note here was that we had so much fun. My last trip of 2023 was literally a last minute bucket list for me. I have always wanted to go see the Rockefeller tree lighting. And this, I called my cousin like November 5th, and I said, what do you think about going to see the tree lighting? And she says, oh, that could be fun. And then I told her the dates and how we would get there and how much money. And she said, let's do it. So we literally went to New York to see the tree lighting. We caught the red eye. We landed in NYC. Well, actually LaGuardia. No, we landed in New Jersey at like 7:30 in the morning. By the time we got to our hotel, this is my trip at a glance. It's really busy because I didn't have much, so I filled it with flowers. We landed and then we drove. It took like 2 hours for us to get from from EWR, New Jersey, out to our hotel, which luckily was only 2 blocks from the tree. Here's my tree, seeing the Christmas lights. We got there, checked into our hotel. We did some previewing of the area because we weren't sure what we were doing. We did a little shopping, and then we got to see the tree before it was all lit up. This was the room, the TV in the hotel room said my name. I was like, oh man, that's cool. Why do I feel like that should not be like that? I think that fell. Let's see if I can fix it. Maybe it is supposed to be that way. Okay, Rockefeller Plaza, the sign. We watched Barry Manilow rehearse for the event that night. We ate at this McCarthy's Irish pub. And then we went to Saks Fifth Avenue. Then we went back to our hotel, took a little nap, and it was all about push, shove it through the bottleneck. And then my bucket list is achieved. This is the 3 of us here. Her name, she is my cousin's twin. They have the same birthday in the same year in the same hospital. They each have 3 older brothers who went to school together. So we call them twins. And she is the one that got us the matching hats. And they actually turned out to be a bonus in our day event. We got up the next morning, had breakfast at the hotel, drove 2 hours to LaGuardia, and flew home. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my travel planner for 2023. My little letter explaining how blessed I feel to be able to do this. And I'm looking forward to 2024. I have 2 trips planned right now for 24. And I'm hoping for at least 2 more. Thank you for spending time with me, remembering my wonderful trip of 2023. If you guys know where I can get discs that are a little bit bigger, I like the metal ones. You leave that message down below, okay? You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching my memories. See you in the next video. Bye.